Hi everybody, my name's Melissa and welcome to my she shed, where today we will be making a cape. The yarn we will be using is a blend of these two together, and what we have here is a yarn made by Lamia called Boom Plus. I got this from Hobium. It is 100% acrylic. There is 160 meters. This color, there's no color name, so it is color 1892. Normally you would need a 5mm hook for this, but we're not going to be doing that today because we're blending this with this yarn. This yarn is called Moonwalk. It is 74% wool, 24% polyamide and 2% polyester. It is a 420 meter ball. You normally would use a 3mm hook. Once again, scrapping that, ignore that because we're blending this. The colour for this, well, no name, it's called number 6. And I don't know whether you can see, but it has a gorgeous bit of bling through it. Very pretty. And this one I got from Hobby. So blending these two yarns together to make the colours, and as you saw from the photo, I blended another two colours. This blend here, no, I don't have any left to show you what the color is, but it is this with a different green, another completely different from that. What I normally do is just pick two colors that I like together, put them together and make the garment. You can use any yarn whatsoever you like for this. You just need to make sure you match your hook to the yarn, and I will give you the measurements throughout as we're going, so you know what size you need, what centimeters you need for each part to make the garment. This will actually work out to be an 8mm hook, so I'm going to be using this 8mm hook. I will also need my scissors, yarn needle, but there's not much sewing in this, and also some stitch markers just so I can help myself with counting. These stitch markers are our logo, Lucky Platypus logo, and you are more than welcome to go and search for them on our website or Facebook page if you would like any yourself. Alright, now let's get this project started. Okay, grab your two yarns, put them together, slip knot, put it on your hook, and this is all with an 8mm hook, so these are the number of stitches I'm telling you is for an 8mm hook, but the centimeter size I would tell you is what you could go by for any hook size. Just make sure your measurements match up to the centimeter size that I tell you. So we will be doing, it is going to be, bear with me, 62 centimeters long with this yarn. That worked out to be 64 stitches. 2, 3, 4. So after you have created your 64 stitches, we're starting from the hood. So we're starting from the very top and working our way down. And as I said, there will be minimal sewing. Eventually, when we've done this panel and we're finished, this is going to actually sew together at the top to create the hood. But you'll see that right at the very end. So it's a very simple stitch we're doing, half double crochet. So chain 1, and in the next chain along, so not that chain you've just made, but the next one along, turn over and half double crochet into that lump at the back. So you'll see there's V's at the front. When you turn it over, there's a lump at the back, and that's what you're doing your stitch into. So when you yarn over, put your hook into that lump, grab your yarn, pull it through, grab your yarn and pull through all 3 loops on the hook. And same again, and continue all the way along until you have finished that row. After you have finished that first row, chain one, turn your work, and keep half double crocheting until you have made a 30 centimeter long panel. How many rows that will be, that's up to you and how you work. I will make my 30 centimeter panel and let you know how many rows that I have done. And then after you've made that, I will join you back here after you've finished your 30 centimeters and show you what to do next. Now we have finished that panel, this rectangular panel. It is 30 centimeters wide, and for me it was 23 rows. Now we are going to work on shaping the cape. This will eventually be a hood. What we do is we bring this together and we will sew that up like so, and you can see that your head will fit in there. So we'll sew that up and then it falls over your head there. But what we're going to do now is shape the cape. So chain one, turn your work, half double crochet 9 stitches, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, chain one, go back into that 9th stitch and another half double crochet. So you're making what looks like a V, so a V stitch. Then you are going to do the next 12, half double, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, and in this 12th stitch you've done the 1 stitch, chain 1, and then go back into that stitch with another half double crochet. So you're doing another V stitch. Then the next is 22. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 22. Chain 1, and then we're doing another half double crochet straight back into that same stitch. So you're doing your V stitch there. Then we are doing 12 stitches. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. 12. Chain 1. You are doing another half double crochet back into that stitch. So creating that V stitch. And then it should leave you with 9. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, and 9. Chain 1, turn your work, and then half double crochet up to that V stitch. Okay, so you're at that V stitch. Very easy to see where the V stitch is. And you're going to do another V stitch straight on top of the previous V stitch. So you go into the V stitch, half double crochet, chain 1, and then back into the V stitch with a half double crochet. Whoops, let's try that again. And back into the V stitch with a half double crochet. And then continue on. To the next V stitch. Now we're at the next V stitch, so half double crochet, chain 1, back into the same stitch, half double crochet, and there you go, you've got your V stitch on your V stitch. And continue doing this to the end of the row, remembering to put your V stitch on top of your V stitch. Now you don't need to count. If you want to count, you can do, and you're just going up a couple of stitches each time. I don't bother counting, I just wait until I get to the next V-stitch, and then I put my V-stitch on top of the previous V-stitch. So I'll see you at the end of the row. So there's that row finished, and what will start happening is that this will start going out wider and wider, and you can see there's the increasing there on every V-stitch, and it'll become more and more obvious the further down you go. So to continue on, all you need to do is in every V-stitch add another V-stitch, and that increases that area by 1. Another V-stitch here, increase by 1, another one 1, and another one here by 1. And you want to keep doing that until your cape part, so from the top of your cape down, not the hood part here, but the top of your cape down, measures 70 centimeters. If you want a shorter cape, do less rows. If you want a longer cape, do way more rows. I found the 70 centimeter length was really good for me. Continue on for 70 centimeters. I will meet you back here when I have finished that 70 centimeters, and I'll let you know how many rows it takes for me with my 8mm hook. Okay, let's continue on. Here we are so far. I have done my 70 centimeters of the cape, and it's a lovely length. That took me 51 rows. Now it's too big to lie on the table, so I've hung it up on my mannequin so you could have a look at what it looks like so far. And I don't know whether you can see, but there is a little bit of a bling, so it's looking really nice. The next step we need to do is actually sew up the hood, and then we can do the edging. So we're going to do an edging around here. You can leave it the way it is, but I think the edging just sets it off quite nicely. So let's do that. To sew up the hood, it is quite easy. Just line up the top of your hood, which is, it's hard to show you because this here is the around the neck. There's that rectangle panel. There's the top of the hood. You can see where you started there. Line it up, and then get a long enough piece of, oh, I've lost my yarn. There we go. Get a long enough piece of yarn so it goes at least twice. Depends how much you're going to sew. Snip that yarn off, put it on your yarn needle. You can use the 2 strands of yarn. I'm just going to use the 1 strand. Attach your yarn so you can just tie it on, and then just for extra security you can tie it onto your tail that you started off with. And I don't do anything fancy when I sew. I literally just line it up and go in and out. Nothing too fancy at all. And when you're at the end, I just tie it off, weave my end through, and snip that off, and you can sew in the ends up here as well. Once that's done, turn it inside out, which is now the right way, and your hood is now done. Next step is to do the lining all the way around the edge there. So let's do that now. Okay, so for the border, it is a very simple 2 rows of single crochet. So where you finished off at the bottom of your cape, your last row, chain 1 and just go to the side. And we will be putting a row in for single crochet, and the easiest way that I find to do the rows is put a stitch at the top of every one of these rows. If you find that that's not enough stitches for you and you want to do it tighter, put 2 in each or 1.5, but just make it even. For a single crochet, put your hook in, grab your yarn, pull it through, and grab your yarn and pull through the 2 on the hook. And work your way down. So there's that one, I'm going to put that one in there. And then there's the top of that one there. And you'll start to see, you'll get your eye in for where it's going to go. And you don't have to be overly anal about it. Just make sure that it looks neat. So occasionally go back to it and have a look to see, yep, that's looking neat, I'm happy with that, and just keep going. So you're going all the way around, around your hood, all the way around to the bottom, and I'll meet you back when you get back to the bottom on the other side. After you have created that first row of edging, chain 1, turn your work and do a second row of single crochet. And when you have finished that row, I will meet you back here. Now that we have finished our 2 rows of edging, we are nearly finished our cape. So just snip off the end and pull that through, sew that in, and the last thing we need to do is put on our cape. If you can find where your cape hood is, that's why I've, hold on. There we go. Now this is why I've marked it here, so that I know where the edge of my hood is. And we are going to put cape hook on it. So I got this from Amazon, really cheap. I got a whole bunch of them. Very pretty and really easy to use, because all you need to do is just attach it via these clips, and you can move these clips wherever, whether you want them on or off. What I found is, there's where my edge is, bring it in a little bit and then do the other side. Make sure I've got the right, it's ridden up a bit. Like that. I can take my stitch marker out now, and then it just clips together like so. Very pretty. So let me take a few photos and show you what it looks like, as it's way too big to put in the camera here. You have enjoyed making this cape. It's so super simple, hardly any sewing, and it just turns out to be super comfy, and I think it looks great. If you do make this cape, love to see a photo. share it with me on all my socials. If you have any questions at all, please leave a comment down below. And I hope I see you here again at the She Shed sometime very soon for the next tutorial. Have a great day, everyone. Bye.